Hello, and thank you for tuning in to CMPAC Spotlight, where we put the spotlight on our members and talent here at Access 21. I am your host, Keith Roberson, and today I have with me here none other than Jashun Gaddy. How are you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so glad to be back here again.
Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. Your reputation precedes you.
Really?
And yeah, we hear nothing but great things about you.
Oh, thank you.
And so I'm honored to be able to sit down with you and pick your brain, not just for myself, but for the other people here that take interest in you and what it is that you do. So for starters, I always start off this way. Who is Jashun Gaddy?
Jashun Gaddy is a very goofy and very open-minded person. He loves people. He loves positive energy, optimism, supportive people, being an advocate, and being a helping hand.
So how do you feel like that? How do you feel like that helps you along in this process, being a part of Access 21?
Well, it's perfect for Access 21 because they use volunteers to help with people's shows and stuff too. So, if somebody calls me up, I'll definitely would be willing to volunteer for them show because it also helps me make interactions with people and get ideas and just kind of share my story and and keep people inspired.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, I volunteered on a lot of people's shows, and I would be on people's shows, and I would be talking to them, and they're like, you know what, you should have a show. And I was like, nah. And I mean, every time I helped with somebody's show, they would say something like that, and I was like, but I wasn't at that time. I didn't really think I'd be able to do that, because I saw all the work that comes into shows, and so one day it just hit me, and I was like, okay, well maybe I will do this and everything. So
okay. So let's back up just a beat. How did you find out about Access 21?
Access 21 was probably one of the first things I was involved with after I graduated. That was in 2005, and so I was with vocational services. And they had a plan for me to do as far as after I graduate college, I would first get my driver's license again because I had to learn how to drive again, but I had to drive with my left leg because I got right drop foot and stuff too. And so when they said after I get my license, then we could start looking for jobs and stuff. And so then one of my job coaches or vocational services, they were like, well, there's this place called Access 21, and I know you're involved with television and stuff too. So that was back in like 2008, maybe, a long time ago. Yeah. And so I took the classes and was involved with it ever since. It was on and off again. So I saw a lot of stuff change over the years and stuff.
So I understand that you don't necessarily have like a regular running show, but you do specials.
Yes.
So tell us about the decision making when it comes to that. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I wanted to do a special because I don't think I'm as disciplined to actually, or knowledgeable enough to do an ongoing series because that's a lot of work and a lot of, and I'm not up to that level just yet. But I wanted to do a special because it gives me a lot more flexibility. And if I get sidetracked or if I got to do something else with my job or anything else, it's kind of like that too. So, but I kind of do the special to give me some little wiggle room.
Okay.
And everything.
So how do you decide what specials to do? How do you decide? Let me ask this: how do you decide what specials to do, and when do you decide? And how do you decide when to do them? I know you were talking about your schedule and work like that, but because some people, they do seasonal specials. Some, how do you make sure it's potent? How do you make sure it's relevant to the times and things of that nature?
Well, sometimes it could be kind of erratic, but one of the last specials was kind of no, not my last one, but the one before it. That was perfect because that was during the time of Brain Injury Awareness Month and everything. So that kind of fit in with that, but it's just usually it just happened to whatever it, if it just happened to land on that time or that month or whatever, it's just, but usually it's just kind of like I get an idea for a show and it just, whenever everything connects and planning works out, that's when I'll do it, you know, and stuff. And so like, for example though, the episode of the Family Affair that won the award, actually, that wasn't even supposed to be. Because I actually had another show called Support Groups. And so we were doing that show. That was the main show because I was only going to do one show. But I think my director, TX, and I guess he got the idea after talking to my parents and my sister and her boyfriend, you know, like, well, we got some time. Why don't your mom and your dad and, you know, interview your family? So they were, you know, so I was like, do y'all want to do it? Because they didn't know anything about being interviewed. Yeah. So everything that they was spontaneous. Yeah. And so. Yeah.
I forgot to mention 2-time award winning.
Yeah, 2 times. Yes.
Yeah, Jashun Gaddy. I forgot to say that. My apologies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get into the whole award winning situation in just a moment. So do you make up in your mind, like throughout the year, like how do you plan the specials? I know you talked about, you know, some of them are really sporadic, but do you go into like a year or like a season or like, you know, like we work on like a 3-month period or whatever. Do you go into it saying, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know I'm going to produce a special?
Well, with me, it's like I know what I want to do, but it's like I know what the show is and everything, but it's like it's hard for me to kind of get it going though. It's like for me to go through the steps of, okay, let me be proactive and just go ahead and go full force or whatever, because I get kind of lackadaisical sometimes and just get sidetracked or whatever, and that's because I ain't gonna say it's mainly because of my brain injury or whatever, but it's just so hard to kind of keep focused and stuff because of everything else. And
I understand.
Stuff too,
so for instance, I mean, because you've produced stuff, you know what I mean? Like you've literally, like it's seen the cutting room floor, you know, you know, eyes have been placed on it. So when you do get to the end of the road and it's produced, how, like, what is that process like? You know, like when, you know, like what does that look like for you? Like walk us through that, the whole pre-production, the whole just thinking it through and all of that. How does that look like for you?
Well, I think first I would come up with an idea and just make sure that I bag the guests first of all. Okay. And just first before I even write up a draft or anything, I always ask the people that I want to be on my show, would you be interested in being on the show? And then if they say yeah, then I would go into the pre-production as far as writing the script and stuff, you know. And so then after that, I would run it through them and then schedule a time and everything, and then we'd take it there. And I know, like, I did one of my shows as a podcast, and then I did the other 3 as a studio show or whatever too. So
how do you make that decision? Whether it's going to be something in studio, well, it's both in studio, but whether it's going to be, you know, a TV program or it's going to be a podcast. How do you decide that?
I guess because actually doing a podcast is a little bit more easier because it's a lot smaller, you know, space. Yeah. But I guess. But then, but the studio is a little bit more bigger, and so you can have more. If you can bring in more stuff or items to come into place or whatever. So I guess with me, it's just maybe also as far as the guests, would they be more comfortable in a podcast or would they like to be in a studio like this and stuff too? So
Yeah. So, you know, we talked about you got a background in this prior to Access 21, and we didn't talk about this, but you know, again, your name echoes the halls of Access 21. You actually were an intern for a while.
Yeah.
But what do you feel like is some of like your most notable? Well, we know what it is because you won 2 awards for it. But name some others that you feel like that you're like really proud of, other programs.
Well, other video projects that I was involved with.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. The very first program or video thing that I helped out with was I was a foot model for the hospital. This was back maybe like a couple years after my injury. This is like maybe like in 2002, 2003.
Oh wow!
And I haven't never seen that. I never seen the video, but I was a foot model, and basically I wore different braces or casts or braces, you know, AFOs, the thing that kind of steady your leg, and I just and tried them on and I walked in them and stuff too. So that was my very first post injury debut or whatever. I was a feature baptism video for Code Orange Revival. That was back in 2016. I played a major part in the training video for the hospital when it comes to substance abuse, but somebody with a brain injury.
Wow.
So I was kind of like in a training video for that. I was also in a training video for the police department.
Wow.
And that was people dealing with people with brain injury and what to expect and stuff too. That quite a bit. Yeah.
So I know you having gone through that and currently going through, you know, brain injury and just dealing with that whole situation. Would you consider yourself an advocate? Would you consider yourself someone who wants to continue to do that work and bring awareness to brain injuries and the effects of it?
Yes, because this is me, you know, and I'm so blessed to be able to. How God works is just crazy, because I thought that after I went to school for broadcasting, you know,
right.
I thought that after this brain injury, you know, I want to go to New York, I want to go to film school and everything.
Yeah.
But after my brain injury, I was like, I can't do anything, you know, because I know how hard this industry is.
Wow.
But ironically, it's just totally opposite. This injury actually gave me the perfect thing to get into the industry, and not only that, but to also be a voice, you know, and to actually educate people about brain injury, you know. And so it's not, you know, it could be a little bit more important or more educational than just a movie, you know.
Yeah.
And stuff too. So it's just great.
So, you know, I know some people may be apprehensive to approach and broach the topic, but this isn't something that you shy away from. This isn't something to where you go, that's just something that happened to me. Don't bring this up again. Like, let me see me for me. But you,
I like to, you know, I'm engaged in, like, even, like I say, even being at this station for all these years, it's just, I feel really comfortable and supported here because people are engaged, you know, when I help on shows and stuff, and
absolutely,
you know, they'll be like, okay, what happened to you? And then, because I was a guest on quite a few producers, other shows too, you know, and stuff too. So it's just amazing that, you know, people are engaged and just want to know more about it, you know.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. So obviously, Access 21 has impacted you in that way, but I'm curious to know what other ways, if any, has Access 21 impacted your life or helped you in your life or helped you to work through certain things?
Well, it definitely helped me with experience when it comes to engaging with people on the business level again. You know, experiment with the equipment.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, because I don't really have any editing equipment at my house. I don't have anything, you know. So this is the only time that I really get a chance to really get to see the how things go.
Okay.
And everything.
So, I mean, do you feel like it's beneficial for you to be able to come into the studio and edit?
Yeah. I think it's really beneficial because this is the gateway, you know, because this is what I want to do. And so
True.
I don't have any other avenues that I use except for this station. You know, I don't have like a camcorder or anything like that at home, and I'm not really knowledgeable about using some equipment and stuff. And so anything dealing with filming, pretty much this is my go-to.
Right.
I have to.
Everything in the house, you don't have to go too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I mean, I live right down the street from here too, so.
Yeah. Cool beans, man. Oh yeah, very, very convenient.
Yeah,
you
very,
live
very convenient.
right down the street.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we talked about you winning 2 awards this past, I believe it was May, last month.
Yeah.
Let's watch a clip from this award-winning episode.
Like, you know, when it happened, like what exactly happened with me?
Well, Jay, I'm gonna piggyback on what your mom was saying. Was that as a kid you did have headaches, and as a kid I had headaches coming up. And as I grew older, I grew out of them, and I don't have headaches anymore. But I do remember, and I think your mom do too, us taking you to have a CAT scan on your head and everything when you was complaining about it. But that seemed, you know, they didn't see anything at the time. So, yeah, this thing was a big shock to us.
Yeah, awesome. So that was your dad, right? Can you explain to us how you felt in that moment, like having him? Was that his first time really expressing to you all of those things about, you know, the events that took place?
Not really, because I spoke at quite a few different conferences or whatever.
Okay.
And you know, he would drive me to him, and you know, it's some, you know, and you know, after the question answer, when I talked to them about my parents' role, the guests will always ask, you know, him, would they like to ask him a question and stuff too. So he's pretty familiar with talking about it because he lived through it and stuff too. So
wow.
Yeah, but he's a great help. Support him and my mom were just great. And I know it kind of was tough for him because then, like, you know, that happened in the 9/11 happened, and see, he was a chief master sergeant, and so he had to go on tour, like for like 3 months at a time. Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Germany, and stuff too. So
wow. Do you feel like, I mean, obviously you know how he feels about it and things of that nature, but like, do you feel like that episode might have been therapeutic in any way? You know, being able to pull more out of him and maybe even possibly pull more out of yourself, or was it like, no, this was more so for everybody else, we're good?
Right. I think it may be. I was glad that people were able to hear the story from my parents' perspective, because they heard, you know, I tell from my perspective for a long time, but to hear it from my mom and her story, her side of the story, and my dad and my sister and her, you know, and my nephew, which was kind of crazy because my nephew, he's 25 now, but he was just like 4 when I had my injury. So he only knows me as a brain injury survivor. So he doesn't remember me as before then and everything. And so he was also, because doing that, for that, he also became more adept with, you know, helping me out. Like, it just ingrained with him as far as certain things, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff, so.
Awesome. Makes a lot of sense. So switching gears a little bit, as we mentioned before, that episode won not 1 but 2 awards. So it was the most watched video on demand episode, and it also won for best non-religious special. So take us through that night. Put us in the seat that night that you won those awards. How were you feeling? Did it come as a surprise? You know.
Well, I know I got an email, that I was up for 2 awards and stuff. And so one of my best friends, Leah, she accompanied me or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was actually one of my closest, dearest friends I know since my freshman year at ECU. She was also in the video. My other best friend, Ramsey, recorded of me in ICU. And so so it's almost like so symbolic, kind of like that. But
kind of full circle.
Yeah, and so it was great, and so I got the award, and I was like, Leah, okay, tape it for me, or film it for me. But then I forgot my notes was on my phone. So I had to kind of go up there and wing it both times. So it wasn't the best, but
So you prepared a speech?
Well, not a speech. I just wanted to kind of like give thanks to certain people, and stuff. I just wanted to kind of make good points, but it kind of. Well, I wasn't thinking when I said Leah recorded, and so then she had the phone, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, hey, nothing but space and opportunity right now.
Yeah.
So, which leads me to one of my last questions. So, you've done quite a bit here, over the years, whether it be producing a special or being on different sets, being a crew member. And I know it's not to be shady or anything like that, but if you would, give us your dream crew. If out of all the people here, and who would you pick to be on your crew from top to bottom, and why?
Okay.
From the director to the production assistant, if you ever have one.
Okay, I would do TX, Deautry Green, Michael Bizzell.
TX as what?
Director.
Okay.
Michael Bizzell as editor.
Oh, okay. Michael Bizzell is good with the editing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's the name? Eric Cunningham. Now I forgot. No, he's good at lighting.
Really?
Yeah, because I already have other positions. So
right.
Like lighting.
A lot of people they put him in the director's seat. But he's really good at lighting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
What else is there?
You got your floor director.
Floor director is Anton Heron.
Yeah. Okay.
What else?
Camera people.
Camera people. Angela.
Okay. She's here that often?
Yeah, I'm just
okay.
I'm just trying to remember people.
Yeah.
It's good. Josh Harbat. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
Josh Harbera or whatever.
Okay.
And oh God.
Who you got on audio?
Oh, okay.
Or could you just throw anybody on it?
I'm trying to think of anybody names I can remember. Veronica Graves, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So what's next for you? What's next for Jashun Gaddy? What's next?
Well, like I said, I want to get this show, my next episode, up and running before the because upcoming. I can't remember what month it is, but there's a domestic abuse month, and so I definitely my next ideal I want to include a survivor, a brain injury survivor
Okay.
that got her injury from domestic
Wow.
abuse. And so I want to include her and maybe another guest who was also a survivor, and then one of my childhood schoolmates. I want to have her as my a special guest host because she's also a survivor of domestic abuse.
Wow.
And stuff too. So
Okay. Wow, I'm really looking forward to that, for
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So,
thank you.
yeah, and that's very important. So I hope
Yeah.
you hope you produce that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess I really, I think of brain injury, I think of like, aneurysm, strokes, car accidents, or, but I never really think about domestic abuse. That's not one of the things that come to my mind when I think about it. So
Right.
that's kind of like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
that close to home, and that it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be this big grand accident or
Right.
anything. It could happen right there in your house, and the damage that people can cause is
Right. Life
absolutely
changing.
yes, absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank you, man, for being here. Thank you for all that you do here.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for stepping out and speaking on brain injuries and things of that nature, man. And thank you for you being you and you pushing through through the adversity and all of those things. Thank you very much, man. And always coming in here with a smile on your face. You don't even have to do that, but you do that. So I like to say thank you personally.
I love this place. This is such a great place. This is like a place where I can be myself. I can, and it's so engaging, and it's just that it's like amazing to have people that's all interested in the same thing there.
Yeah.
This is not a place that you just people got to go to. These are people that when you see people here, that's because they want to be here.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, and so
That's
that's
true.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
that's so true.
Yeah, they want to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. So again, thank you for being here. From all of us here at Access 21, we like to say thank you for watching. Thank you for our crew. Thank you to our crew for being here.
Yeah.
My name is Keith Roberson. To everybody, good light and good night.